Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening and good morning, madam.
Good morning, madam.
Today we are here to listen Dr. Sahana Magal, a multifaceted personality who is a physician, geriatrician, certified dementia care consultant, and a distinguished gerontologist. Today's talk is about quality of life amongst elderly. It has attained a lot of importance these days as medical science has advanced beyond human imagination and longevity of life is increased, and at the same time it has posed certain challenges to the middle-aged and caregivers to take care of the elders. Human beings have been bestowed with the important virtue, memory. It's a boon as well as a bane. And we are expected to lead a certain way of life till the end of our life. Certain way of life is expected and adhered to. As age advances, some may experience memory loss, which poses many challenges to the caregivers. Medical terms are Alzheimer's leading to dementia. And today's speaker, Dr. Sahana Magal, who has put in 2 decades of experience in aging, diversity, long-term care, geriatric psychology, and dementia. So doctor will provide inputs to handle and to take care. Dr. Sahana's contribution to the world at large runs in pages, and to introduce her in brief. Doctor, please excuse me for making a brief introduction as members and friends are eager to hear you. Doctor completed her medicine and MD in internal medicine from JSS Medical College, Mysore, and completed her MS in gerontology from San Francisco State University at San Francisco. Dr. Sahana has practiced more in the field of internal medicine at the Alzheimer's Association, Department of Minority Health and American Diabetes Association. In India, at Sagar Hospital, Bangalore, Dr. Sahana rendered her service as a primary care physician and consulting physician at Image Hospital at Hyderabad. Dr. Sahana is a philanthropist too. At Mysore, Dr. Sahana has founded free clinic dedicated to elderly and sick low-income group people. Dr. Sahana is a linguist too. She is fluent in all 5 South Indian languages: Sanskrit, national language Hindi, Bengali, and basics of Spanish and Marathi. Dr. Sahana has also many awards and recognitions to her credit. Her abstract about bringing Alzheimer's awareness and thesis were presented at the various international conferences. So this is a brief introduction of Dr. Sahana and much more. She has a much more, and her total full biodata will be presented it will be forwarded to the Rotary RMV group in time to come. So good evening to all Rotarians and good morning to Dr. Sahana Magal.
So thank you, Rotarian Pushpalata, for this wonderful introduction. So we are certainly lucky to have Dr. Sahana here. I request Dr. Sahana to please give her talk.
Good morning, everyone. Namaste. That was such a humble and very touching introduction. And I'm like I said, paropakarartham idam shariram. So my life's goal is to help others. So right now my interest is being with elderly people, and I'm honored and privileged to be hosted by Rotarians like you people. And yes, so I will keep it brief because I want to take 5 minutes, the last 5 minutes for question and answers, if that's okay with you people. So I will begin with basic things. It's all divided into 4, basics of 4. So I always believe in, a figure of 4, whether it is geriatrics or gerontology. So let me briefly tell you the difference between a geriatrician and a gerontologist. Geriatrician is any doctor who's taking care of elderly people. Like I'm a physician. If I take care of someone who's 65 years old and give them medicine, I become a geriatrician. But as a gerontologist, we take care of the physiology, the sociology, the psychology, and the spiritual aspects of growing. Like Rotarian Pushpalata Madam already said, that we all need that spiritual growth to be a complete human being. So that is my specialization. So gerontology is a study of everything. At the end of it, we also make public policies in the United States. So GER or ontology is like psychology, where you understand the whole concept of aging. Geriatrics is only medical treatment of elderly people. So having said that, like I said, right, it's always a figure of 4. Geriatrics is one, the 1/4 of problems in geriatrics is disease for which they treat. So you're a geriatrician. Second, 1/4 aging issue is disuse, where you don't use your limbs, you don't walk around. So then, you become inactive, you stay at home. Again, a geriatrician problem. The other 1/4 is misuse. Someone tells you, okay, you have knee pain, something, and you go and take some kind of Ayurveda massage or whatever. That is misusing. The 4th one is physiological aging. So there are some issues, aging issues, which you have to deal with. So that is geriatrics. So like I said, gerontology is the entire aspect of it. So now coming to the main subject of the quality of life. Again, I want to insist, and I want to divide it into 4. Mostly everything. So before that, I'm a person who want to give analogies and cite examples. So bad analogy is it's like saying elderly people, treating every elderly people like you go to a corporate meeting, or for example Rotary conference, and you serve everybody with upma. So whether you like it or not, you all eat upma. But I, as a gerontologist, I will serve dosas for each one of you. Like if an elderly person come to me, I will ask your preference: crispy dosa, set dosa, whatever. So that is an analogy. So when you look at quality of life among elderly, that's exactly what I do here. So I take individually, and I take individual cases, and I deal with them. So quality of life falls under 4 categories again. Like I said, I'm a big figure of 4 person. Like I said, geriatrician 4, gerontology 4. Quality of life also is 4, especially so in India. The first one is physical. Okay. So as elderly people, we are all concerned whether we have a disease. The presence or absence of a disease determines your quality of life. Say, for example, you have the simplest thing, like you have difficulty in walking, right? You have a pain in your knees. So the pain in your knees can become, you can become dependent on your adult children, or you want to go to a doctor. So let's stick to this pain in the knee throughout my conversation. Okay, first let me tell you the 4 things which affects the quality of life, then I'll come back to individual things. So first is the physical one, which is the presence or absence of a disease. The second one is emotional one: how happy you are, how anxious you are, whether it is retirement, post-retirement. Third thing is psychological. So at what age are you in? And the 4th one is social, societal. So all these 4 determines the quality of life. Let me repeat slowly. Physical issues, emotional issues, psychological issues, and social issues are what determines the quality of life among the elderly. So coming back to the same example of pain in your knee. Okay, so before that, I'll take one more step and say something called ageism. In India, let me start with the United States. In United States, ageism is a bad thing. Like you can't say someone, for example, I'm 52 years old. If someone says, okay, you're 52, it is an insult. So with age comes respect. So you don't call anybody by the age. So in India, ageism, it is like, the moment you are married, you have children, you have grandchildren, they just put you in the pedestal of saying that you're a grandma, grandpa, and all that. I'm just giving a bad comparison, India versus United States. In United States, whether you're a grandmother, mother, father, everything, the respect is throughout the same, because the social policies or the politics decides that. Whereas in our country, in India, we are put in the revered position. For example, we carry a lot of legacy. Elderly people are treated with respect. Elderly people are known to have, it's supposed to be extremely knowledgeable. We touch their feet. So we give them the right after the God they are placed, right? So having said that, the quality of life which we have, physiological, emotional, psychological, or social, it's a very intertwined, very interrelated stuff. Like coming back to the physical part of it, I already said, right? If you have a pain and if you limp, people treat you differently, right? A limping old man, help may or may not be offered, right? In this society where it is like so high pressure, we are all kind of from the big family, we are all becoming, independent on our own. This does matter. So you're dependent. For example, like I said, right, throughout I'll be trying to give examples of how United States and how India is. India, I'm not, I am not comparing, but I'm telling you what I see here, so that, when we discuss further or in this question and answers, I can come back to that. So the limping was the one. The second example I can give you about quality of life is, say, the person is limping and he's been offered help or not. Then the old person or the elderly person, he goes to the doctor. So he goes to the first doctor. If the doctor is, I'm not saying I'm very good geriatrician, if the doctor is just a new, fresh off the board, an MBBS guy or an MD guy who wants to make money, he'll says, okay, go to the orthopedics guy. The orthopedics guy will give him painkillers and I'll say, okay, you go to physiotherapy. The physiotherapy guy will say, okay, you come on such and such a day. With the traffic, with the problems in the house, everything. By the time the elderly person goes through this hurdle of just addressing his knee pain, which could be as simple as someone sitting and telling them, in old age, the ligaments tear off, or, it is like a car, old car. You have to keep oiling things. So, exercise, medicine, rest, all that will help. Instead of that, if you take the medical aspect of it, it is a detrimental, slow decrease in your quality of life, right? It is number one, it is money. Number two, it is the hassle of going to multiple doctors. Number three, it is like overdiagnosed or underdiagnosed, over treatment, under treatment, improper treatment, whatever it is, it's a soul ball game. So that is the physiological aspect of it. Second of the same, the same example I'll give throughout. Second aspect of it, say the same person has a knee pain. It is an emotional aspect too. So physiologically, your quality of life has come down because you feel I can't walk. You feel I'm dependent on my growing up elderly children, or someone will call you names, say Tata, you can't get down from the rickshaw. Someone will try to help you. It all depends. So that also kind of affects your quality of life. Second thing is your emotional status. Same example, knee pain. Say I am a very optimistic or a positive person. I have knee pain. So someone says, Sahana, let's go to such and such a doctor, say Dr. Hegde. So I'll go to Dr. Hegde and I'm very positive. I said, hey, I'll pick up a nice conversation. I said, hey, Dr. Hegde, I have pain. What do I do? And then Dr. Hegde will say, hey, you go to Dr. Pushpalata. She's very nice. And my basic, my basic nature is if I'm a happy person, I'll go and say, okay, the doctor is saying something, let me follow. And let me do the right things without any kind of concern in your mind. So that also depends. That also adds up to your quality of life. Say if the same thing, say if I'm an anxious kind of person, right? Of course, everybody, like I said, right? The only analogy I'll give throughout is, the dosa, right? Everybody needs different kind of dosa. So when you talk of quality of life, everybody says upma. Everybody eat the same. No. So again, coming back to the topic, emotional status is, like I said, if I'm a happy person, I like the treatment, I feel better, my quality of life is better. If I'm an anxious person, say if, for example, I get up in the morning with a lot of anxiety, saying that, oh my God, I have a knee pain, I call out today, I should do something. And then your daughter-in-law is busy, she has to run to to her IT company. Your son is very busy, he said, Appa or Amma, I can't take you today. And you call an Uber, the Uber comes late. and you're already an anxious person, you'll go like, oh my God, ನನಗೆ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಾಯ್ತು, why should I suffer? ಭಗವಂತ ನಾನೇನಪ್ಪ ತಪ್ಪು ಮಾಡಿದೆ? This has to happen to me. So it is your innate nature. I'm not commenting on that. So it is like a happy person versus an anxious person. Your quality of life also comes down. The worry, the moment the worry and then everything comes on, it is a negative spiral. So for example, like I'm very good at trying to give an analogy. Corona is not affected Indians at all, not many, like how much we have done in US, because we are very positive people, we are very social people, right? Diwali, Dashara, everything, we wear masks, we go meet people. So the hormones when you're positive or when you're happy is different from the hormones when you're anxious and you worrisome. The positive hormones will help you kind of increase your immunity, help you fight the disease. And also it is like exercising, right? If you're very vigor and you exercise a lot, so that kind of hormone pumps in and you're positive. So you're worrisome, you can't help it, we are all different. Some people worry a lot, some people worry less. When you worry, the hormones are depressive. So it is nothing but cortisol, glucagon, and another hormone which affects your insulin metabolism. So all these three, cortisol and all comes in, what happens? Your heart rate increases, you feel good. So it just pulls you down, right? So that also affects the quality of life. Like I said, same example, Corona, people are suffering here because we're socially isolated. Look at me, right? I'm in one, because I was asked to self-quarantine, I can't even go and meet my family. So I'm hurdled in a hotel, I sit down there, my people can't come. So socially, if I'm a negative person, it will definitely decrease me. So my quality of life, these are all incremental. Say, right, if you're 60 or say for example in India retirement age is 60. In United States it's like, no, whenever you want to retire, you retire. From 60 till your last minute, you have to be productive, and you have to be independent, and you have to have the strong will to live, and you have to fight the diseases, you have to fight the mental kind of thing, societal pressure, and a lot of things. So coming back again, it is the quality of life. So positive hormones, negative hormones. I'm a positive person. I'll keep the same example. I'll keep Dr. Hegde and Dr. Pushpalata. I go to Dr. Hegde and he says, okay, go to Dr. Pushpalata. I'm a positive person. So my quality of life improves. So as a patient, if I go back again and he says, hey, 1 year, excellent, your leg pain is gone, no arthritis, or you have arthritis. And I said, okay, doctor, I'll live with that. And what do I do? And Dr. Pushpalata keeps treating me. I go to occupational therapy. My quality of life for that year at least is better. Versus someone who's anxious, someone who's fearsome, someone who says, okay, I have this. The moment that happens, for your worry for no reason, your pain threshold increases. Same example, knee pain, when your pain threshold increases, so everything becomes a problem around you. So because of your knee pain, you won't get up in the morning. Because of the knee pain, you are not interested to get out and go and exercise. Because of your knee pain, you get up in the morning and snarky and jittery. If you're alone, it's fine. If you're with the family, you went on your daughter-in-law or son or son-in-law or someone, and they get pissed off, and then that rubs on. So it's like I said, right, it's a lot of small things which add up. And so that is the second one, right? First one was physiologic, second one was emotional, the third one is psychological. So what is the difference between emotion and psychological? So emotions are something, like I said, right, which we are wired from: happy, sad, anger, anxious, and all that. Psychological, according to the United States of Geriatric Society of America, depends on your family and your relationships. Say, for example, the same person, same old person, knee pain, goes to Dr. Hegde, goes to Dr. Pushpalata, is a happy person, but he's in a retirement living. Versus a person who's happy, who stays at home. A person who's in the retirement home, his relationship with the family. Of course, if he's in the retired home, that means to say his relationship with the family has deteriorated or is not as good as it should be, because we all, like I said, right, we all respect elders. Elders are supposed to be taken care by the sons. And I'm not getting into the logistics of it, but a person who's in the retirement home, even though he's a happy person, even though he's got positive attitude, when he goes, his pain threshold is always higher than the person who stays in the house. So does that mean retirement homes are bad? No, I'm not saying that. It is your entire life's relationship which you have built and how you have dealt throughout your life, how you have dealt with situation, which affects your quality of life. Right? Simple. And then it's the same thing, right? I'll come back. The third determinant we are discussing right now, I hope I'm not confusing. The psychological aspect, a person from a home, person from retirement home, going to same two doctors, Dr. Hegde and Dr. Pushpalata. When the person goes to Dr. Hegde and he says the person who's at home, he feels better because when he comes back home and he can at least talk to people who he likes. Grandchildren might not listen, or their sister or someone, or WhatsApp group talk on the phone and say ನಂಗೆ ಹಿಂಗಾಗಿತ್ತು, ನಂಗೆ ಕಾಲು ನೋವು ಬಂತು, ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಹೆಗ್ಡೆ ಅವರು ಇದು ಕೊಟ್ಟರು, ನಿಂಗೇನು ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ, ಅಯ್ಯೋ ತೈಲ ಉಜ್ಜಮ್ಮ, that's okay. So there is a whole lot of conversation and something going on, so they feel they are center of the universe and they are respected. Like I said, right, my interaction with people in retirement home in India is not so much than when I compare to the people who stay in United States. That is a whole new problem. Although people come and visit you every week and all that, there is no kind of what do you say? There is no channel for you to express that, right? I say I liked Dr. Hegde or I like Dr. Pushpalata's physiotherapy. Where is the channel? You will talk to one person who's going to be the same person tomorrow, today. Like I said, I'm not judgmental here about retirement homes. And we are talking about quality of life. That also affects the quality of life. Then the fourth one is social, the societal. Like I said, right, I can't stress enough as to how ageist countries have become, because once your productivity comes down, once you're not no longer the active participant and all that, like I said, two different worlds, India US. Here you have post-retirement saving, whatever. So let's not get into that. So societal also will help, will dictate your quality of life term, right? Say for example, societal, what is the societal example I can give? In India, right, you have walking buddies, right? Same knee pain. Physiologically, you are diagnosed with knee pain, you have arthritis, you go to Dr. Hegde for treatment, you go to Dr. Pushpalata for occupational therapy, you are a happy person, and then you have good family relationship, and then you go outside to meet your buddies. You meet them every day, katte balaga, laughing club, walking buddies, whatever it is. Your quality of life is definitely improved. So why I am kind of dividing all this is, like initially when Madam Pushpalata introduced, when we take our life, it is a life as a whole. We are not divided into multiple pieces, right? Your head is different. So your life purpose is what is the quality of life. You are seeing your life as a whole. So in India or in Canada, they said, oh, old life lead 60 years, Shatabdi, whatever they do, they say you've led a fruitful life. So that is the one which dictates your quality of life. Yes, there is the disease aspect. Yes, there's a psychological aspect. There's a sociological aspect. So the health related quality of quality of life, like I said, depends on where you stay, what you do, how long you're involved, what is your participation, in the family, in the society, among the culture. For example, Rotary Club is, I've also, I've gone and volunteered in Rotary throughout in Mysore and whatever, wherever they call me, because they do so much of philanthropic work, right? The first people, I think, if my memory serves right, is that they are the ones who first gave the wheelchair to the handicapped people. Kudos to that. And they are worldwide, they're doing this, right? So this is a platform where people are doing this kind of nice work. like I said, when you come back to, where you stay, whom you interact with. For example, Rotarians, I will give you in vouching, right? I will do the next research. I will take all your names and I will follow you for the next 5 years. I said, Rotarians have a good quality of life. Why? Not because of, because you guys connect, right? And there's a cause. Because if you don't believe in the cause or the mission, you don't come together, right? So all that adds up. It's incremental. Honey, honey, gududra halla. So it's like from your childhood till now, it is the small things which add up. Quality of life. So like I said, this is amazing platform. You meet people. There's no ageism here. See, like I am whatever age I am, whoever. Nobody asks you, right? How old are you? Nimge en kelsa ide. No. Rotarians are Rotarians. And they'll find a cause. So that helps in cognitive impairment. Simple. You don't have to be a geriatrician, a gerontologist and study this and study that. When I tell my patients, I tell them, you are the doctor. So you tell me what your problems are, because eventually you know your body, your mind, your conscious, your psychological state, your physiological, and your spiritual state of mind. So when people come to me and ask me such questions, I only tell that, you tell me what is your thing. So quality of life is I know it is a measure, but it is a subjective measure. It is subjective matter. So it's a multiple component subjective measure. Coming back to that, right? Again, we spoke about the 4 components. Quick recap. Physical, emotional, physiological, and social. All of them. And then, like I said, quality of life also depends on your how productive life as a whole, like how productive you were, how productive you are now. Productive can be anything. Productive could be what you did when you were young to work, or what did you do. You might be a housewife. You could have been a anything, salary person, business, whatever. How productive you were, and how productive you are now, and how productive you want to be. Right? It's simple. It's all that, the whole journey which, and that research have been studied. I can keep on talking about how research has progressed and how things have been, everything kind of narrows down to one thing, that the more social, the more productive you are, the Alzheimer's or the dementia or the cognitive decline is definitely, it doesn't affect the cognitive decline so much so, like for people who are all alone. Or so that is one thing. And then the third thing I wanted to say is, the third thing is what I told just now, life like a whole. The fourth one we say is, right, positive reinforcement of what you have done throughout your life, fruitful life. Like, if I meet an elderly person, I'll say, hats off to you. I like you, not because, you are respected, you're knowledgeable. You are the most important person because you have contributed so much at an individual level, at the family level, at the societal level, and at the cultural level. So in all, like I said, right, quality of life depends on, it's a continuous journey, and it depends on these 4 predominant characters. What did I leave? And they're all interrelated with each other. So I will add one more of mine, which I'm right now doing, is the cultural aspect. So culturally, we have a very strong influence. Culturally, we have a very strong participation in the society. Like the Eastern society is different from South Asian society culturally, and that is different from the European versus the American, right? I'll take few more minutes to round it up, because I don't want to confuse you all, because the topic is quality of life, which can go on. I will again break it down to nutshell. I will just put everything together. Then when we do the question and answer, probably you'll get more clarity. So the cultural aspect which I have added is mainly because, like I said, right, I'm doing research on culturally sensitive educational materials for Asian Americans. It's a long title, but basically what it says is, if you're culturally aware, if you're culturally grounded, you have some cultural background, it makes a huge difference when you get any of those kind of neurological diseases like Alzheimer's or Lou Gehrig disease or Parkinsonism or anything. Having said that, so the strong influences in culture also affects in your kind of building, like example, coming back to your Rotarian thing, that Rotarian being a Rotary Club is also a culture, right? Like I said, there's a lot of involvement, there's a lot of mission, there's values which you have to follow up, and there's passion, there is service, there is philanthropic activities. So all that is again, right, it's a part of cultural thing. So my only 2 cents of discussion about this huge topic of quality of life would be this, right? Go by the example of 1/4. So 1/4 is because of your aging issues. 1/4 is because of your physical state, physiological state you are in. 1/4 is because you have not used your brain or your body. The 1/4 is because you have disused your brain or your body. All these are the determinants of quality of life. So I hope I have not gone overboard or confused, I added more to that, because I always keep the last like 10-15 minutes to take 1 or 2 questions and explain. Like I said, this is it's a amazing topic, quality of life. We can go on, and it is a very interesting topic and very deep-seated topic, right? Each and every aspect is itself is a huge thing. So I'll leave it to either Mr. Singhvi or Mr. Hegde or someone to do the initiative. I hope this is not I briefly prepared for, because I thought we'll just touch the basic thing, and if there's anything I can specifically answer, I'd be happy to answer.
So thank you, Dr. Sahana. It was, I think, a very interesting talk, and definitely I'm sure everybody has a lot of questions. Everybody, either young or old, either if they're old, they have their own concerns. If they're young, we have concerns about how to interact with our parents or grandparents. So I think we all have a lot of questions. So I think the floor is open to questions now.